Alright, what is going on, everyone? We are live once again on another Sunday night, here to play some more Dungeons & Dragons on the Exploding Dice channel. As always, I'm Askren, your host and Dungeon Master here today, and we have, we are going to be getting into episode number 6, which, has hopefully quite a few things going to be happening tonight. But before we get into all of that, obviously you'll notice we are down in Ashley once again, unfortunately, so we will be playing in her honor until she reincarnates next week. I do have, before I dive in and get into players' introductions and we get started with our recap for our player who was not here last week, just a couple real quick announcements. Of course, as you can see, Dice Thulu has reminded you that in the chat we have a giveaway going on now. It is the last day, I think starting tomorrow is the last day to enter the 1K one-shot giveaway. The link is right there. All you have to do is hit it. If you are a follower on Twitter, well, that you can follow right from that link. That'll get you some entries. Following us on Twitch and retweeting and all that stuff will get you entries into the pool, and you can become one of the winners to play in an awesome one-shot that is going to be happening on October 1st. We're actually going to be announcing the winners of that giveaway this Tuesday on the Fuzzy Dice Show, so that is going to be all wrapped up there. And as always, please, if you haven't already followed, please do, and if you haven't already, hit that retweet link and tell all your friends you're hanging out. So why don't we go down the list and have everyone introduce themselves so we can recap what happened last week. And we'll start right on this side of me with the man in the hat, Mr. Trendane. Don't look at me like that.
Oh, I am wearing a hat. Okay. Yeah. So hi, I'm Trendane Sparks, freelance voice actor, person, guy, thing, and I love to play D&D. I love it so much. I was freaking out. Like for the last 2 days, I'm like, when is the game? God damn it, it's only Friday. And just, I'm so happy that it is Sunday now. I cannot even begin to describe how happy. In fact, I won't. Next, Adam.
Well, you forgot to tell us who you're going to be playing. Get your shit together, man.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'll be playing a human fighter named Balin Koth, who is, used to be a not nice man. Now he's trying to be a nice man. Well, nicer. We'll see how that goes. Adam.
Oh, hello. No, that was corny as hell. I think I'm gonna do that often. I'm Adam. I will be playing Xantor, the
Truly
wise and expeditious, and quite charming, with a negative to charisma druid. What else? I'm a project manager by day, so it's kind of fun to do non-traditional things by night. This and also Batman. I'm Batman.
I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
fighting crime. Or not
I
fighting.
also, with this guy over here, I'm trying to mirror the direction of the camera. Chris here, we do a stream as well. And now that Legion's out, we're gonna start streaming. Yay! And let's play some D&D.
Yeah.
Take it away, Chris.
Segue.
I am Chris, and I will be playing a dwarven rogue named Lycon, who I actually don't know what he's been up to the last game because I wasn't here.
Well, you were in for a treat then. So where did we leave off? Well, the last where we picked ourselves up last week. The party had just they had just kind of gone into
Uncovered.
What's up?
Uncovered.
Yes, they had just made their way into this small house in the town of Sandpoint. Let me turn my music down. They had just kind of made their way into this small house where a woman had met them at the tavern, told them that her husband was trapped inside with a goblin. Apparently, their son had found a goblin in the middle of the night, and the husband stayed behind to try and deal with it. he had not returned, and so in the morning the party decided to go in and see if they could assist with the situation. What they found was a rather grim display, as in the child's room there was a small mutilated dog, as well as the what appeared to be the husband face down, like his upper body in this closet. And when they went to pull him out, they realized that most of his, like from collarbone up, had been kind of chewed away and eaten at by a vicious and hungry-looking goblin. And apparently
he dealt with it poorly.
Yeah, and that goblin had not fled, because no sooner had they pulled the body out of this little hole in the ground than the goblin leapt at Balin and began attacking. There was a little bit of a fight. It was kind of tough in that cramped area, but they managed to smash that goblin into bits. And then once they did, they kind of collected themselves and tried to assess exactly what was going on in this house, how this goblin had got there, why, and most importantly, having a little bit of a snippy conversation with Sheriff Hemlock. Balin, it turns out, does not seem to think that Sheriff Hemlock is doing the best job possible in this town. So once the situation with the family, the goblin, and Hemlock was resolved, the party went into town to see if they could locate more leads. They spoke briefly to a local blacksmith to see if they could borrow his dogs. And he made a few kind of curt requests of them, but he eventually did give them the dogs. And then after that, Kismet. Her name just slipped my mind for a second. Kismet was sort of roped into into performing a part in a play by the local proprietor, Cydric Drokus. She apparently could not say no, and the rest of the party spent the day watching her perform a play, which she didn't do very well in. But once that was up, they decided to continue their investigation. They used the dogs to sniff around town, find some trails where they could, but they kind of ran into a dead end, at least it seems, there. And when they returned to the Rusty Dragon to kind of collect their wits and see what their next move was, they had been relaxing in the Rusty Dragon, and then in barges a very belligerent and very loud Longiku Kaijitsu, looking for his daughter and shouting for her. And when Ameko came out to see what all the ruckus was, Longiku kind of made a grab for her, yelling at her, and, you know, in kind of an overbearing father kind of way, and the party leapt to their feet, not really happy about this. But what exactly is going to happen is what we are here today to find out. So let us just jump right back in to this situation. Give me 2 seconds to find something.
Have you already changed the
map
tableau? Yeah.
No, you still see everything. I'm
good.
Gonna put on some music
because I mentioned it earlier. And it really looks funny to me that it looks like Xantor is holding this giant sword above his head because of where his token is placed relative to the background image. It just strikes me funny. I don't know why. So I just wanted to mention that while it was still there. Okay, never mind. You can,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had heard you mention it before, but I didn't say anything. All right, so let's get some music on. As always, just a quick shout out. Why is nothing playing when I put that on? That's weird. Almost all of the sound effects that you hear in this game are generously provided by the fantastic Sirenscape program. The link is down below. It is a great program, and I think all DMs should go ahead and use it. So, there's kind of a little bit of murmuring, but almost everyone in this tavern has pretty much stopped and is staring as my mouse is not cooperating today. As the Longiku has kind of rushed his way is rushing his way across the floor and kind of reaching towards Ameko. She's just kind of looking shocked and holding a ladle in her hand. And yeah. So let me let's back this up for a second. Longiku kind of, you guys were just enjoying your drinks over in the corner, and the doors kind of flew open, and Longiku, this older man, he just kind of pushed his way inside.
Oops.
And he
Sorry.
he was shouting in a language that none of you really understand, and he was saying, "Where is my daughter? Where is she?" And after a little bit of blustering around, Ameko kind of came out of the kitchen to investigate what was going on, and he just kind of violently grabbed her by the arm. That's all that's happened. So we will. I know Balin had sort of, instantly kind of shot to his feet.
Yeah, and as I recall, when we ended, the last one was pulling the battle axe out to get ready to throw it. So, not throwing it yet, but very close.
So you're pulling your weapon out.
Oh yeah.
All right. So yeah, so as soon as he grabs her, like most of the kind of the murmuring in the bar just kind of quiets, and you're just standing at your feet. Longiku hasn't actually looked in your direction. He is completely focused on his daughter right now, and he is still shouting at her. But he's kind of, and he, like, at this point he is like yanking her by the arm, and she's resisting a little bit, but you can see he's shouting like right in her face and attempting to pull her towards the door.
And they are near these wooden tables.
What's up?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, clearly they're near the wooden tables. Adam, go.
I like where your head's at. Wood. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go ahead and cast Produce Flame on the nearby tables, kind of creating a nice little obstacle to stop them from leaving.
Okay, let me check something real quick.
And also, I wanna throw like a little witty. Let's illuminate this situation.
I was worried you were going to say, chill out. No, that doesn't work. Like
That might be
it's the opposite of what it should be.
Okay.
That might be even better.
Okay, so Produce Flame creates a small ball of fire in your hand that you can then sort of throw like a fireball.
Correct.
So you wanna attempt to hurl it at the table.
Yes.
Okay. Point to me on the map exactly where you're trying to aim it.
Okay. The guy that looks younger than Amiko is the token for this father, right?
Yeah,
Just hold on your
I
mic.
think I have an older Longiku token. I like this one a little bit more. Just imagine
Right
that
here.
guy with grayer hair.
This right here is where I'm.
So right near him.
Yeah. Let's allow a moment to illuminate the situation if we can.
All right. Roll me a ranged attack, please.
That's okay. Ranged attacks are under.
You can, if you just click your token, you can just up in the top left, you'll see a thing that says Produce Flame. You can just click that.
On the top left. Oh, I'd already done it, but okay, I'll do it again.
Oh yeah, I didn't see it on the chat because it didn't do
Oh.
the sound.
Practically the same roll. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so on a 13, you just sort of stand up behind Balin and just hurl this little ball of flame, and it doesn't really register with many people in the tavern for a second because there are flickering candle lights. And by the way, before that happens, let me put something on here.
Me.
Let's do this one. Yeah. Where is my mute mystery? Okay. So you throw this kind of thing, and it doesn't really register with anyone instantly because there's a fire light, that's kind of casting flickering light in the tavern. There are candles up above you on chandeliers. So for a second, like, no one's really paying attention, and then all of a sudden this ball, it doesn't quite hit exactly where you aimed it. It's gonna hit, like, right in the center of the table, like, right over here. Like, right over here.
Okay.
And it just kind of hits the table and, like, rolls for a second in just of flame that it just lingers on the table, and as soon as it hits, you see Lungi kind of, like, jump backwards, like, confused. Ameko actually does too. He gives a shout, like, and he kind of looks around. He says, I knew letting you live here with these brigands and these violent criminals was a terrible idea. You are coming with me." And he's backing away from the table, but he's still kind of reaching for it. She, by the way, she is kind of she's kind of
Can't hear you, man.
What's up?
The music's a little loud, and your volume just keeps getting lower.
Oh, that's weird. Are you alright?
Are we? Is there initiative or anything like that? Or
No,
can
it hasn't. Combat hasn't really started yet, so you guys like, there's no real initiative. So you guys are all kind of acting as you choose to react. Like, so, like, as you kind of stood up and you took some time to throw fire, Ameko, by the way, is going to she's going to kind of like shout at him, like shout something back in the same language as she's trying to pull away from him. If you guys wanted to do something, like, you know, if you wanted to do something else, now would be a good time to do it.
I get the feeling maybe Adam might be interested in doing something.
What are you trying to do?
Go ahead and plant yourselves down.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah. Yes. I'm gonna cast Entangle Wounds so that they're kind of not leaving.
Entangle wounds?
Entangle, not Entangle Wounds. Just Entangle. Entangle Wounds would be a whole other interesting spell.
Give me a second.
Is there spellcraft in D&D?
Possibly. The rule of cool is a wonderful thing.
Oh god, that'd be awesome.
Okay, so as you kind of begin trying to cast a spell, Zenu, and people are kind of shouting now, especially because there's a fire in the middle of the tavern. Are the rest of you guys doing anything, or are you just gonna kind of let this happen?
I mean, I don't really know why I would get involved, to be honest. I don't know what this is about. I don't know this gentleman.
Yeah,
I don't know what.
Talk to him. You went to his house.
That's the old guy who was like a dick to us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And her father.
That's a personal matter. I don't know why I'd want to get involved. I don't.
Because she lets us have all the beer behind the bar. I heard if we stop this, we could have unlimited beer.
That's quite true.
Yeah, we've been paying for it though, haven't we?
So, Xantor, as you're kind of gathering yourself to try to begin casting a spell, Ameko is actually going to kind of, like, you see her kind of, like, pull her arm away, and as he's kind of reeling back, she, like, with this ladle, she just kind of comes around and clocks him right in the side of the head. You know, and you actually see Longiku stagger backwards a step as he kind of, like, he looks like he got his bell rung pretty hard, and as she does that, like, all of the shouting and stuff in the tavern just instantly quiets. Like, everyone is just like, you know, they're just silent. And then he's just kind of, like, you see him, like, holding his head, and he's kind of looking around. He's let go of her, by the way. So, like, he's just, you guys are in the corner, so he hasn't really gotten, like, a great look at you, though he probably would if you had actually approached, but he's just kind of looking around, like in pain.
Well, we spoke to him last time
Yeah.
before we ended.
Yeah, we said something from across.
I told him if he wanted to leave and come back in like a normal human being.
I totally forgot about that. Okay.
That's okay.
Then no. So then then never mind. He is he's looking directly at you, and his you can see his eyes are enraged. Like he is looking like he could do something.
Someone need a tissue?
And then he's going to turn to Ameko and say, "You're as dead to me as your mother."
Oh shit!
And then just turn and walk right out the front door.
Is that the front door or the back door?
That's the front door.
And what are these doors down at the bottom? Are those not doors? Is that a
those
window?
were the front
That's
doors,
another
too.
entrance, yeah.
Yeah, because it looks like he's walking toward the fire pit, or where they store. He's walking toward the toilets.
Well,
And the other doors.
that's just the entrance I've always used as the front because it just makes spatially.
Yeah, the ones on the southwest side are there's a main road there. That's why I always thought they were the front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
assuming,
I was confused.
Whatever. But he's just out the door. Yeah. So and as he does, you guys are kind of just standing at your table, and Ameko's she's just standing there, kind of in shock, kind of like.
Well, then I'm gonna go over the table because I was about to put one foot on the chair, one foot on the table, and then just walk over the table and move. So I might as well continue that motion. And I will move over to the young lady. Are you all right?
She you as you kind of approach Ameko, she's just kind of standing there, like in the center of the tavern floor. Like you couldn't really see from where you were. Like she just looked like she was standing a little bit stunned. But as you kind of as you walk over, you notice that like she is standing there, but it may just be a trick of like the flickering firelight. But for a second, you swear you see like just a little shimmer of like tears kind of forming at the edge of her eye, and then she just kind of like blinks a couple times and turns to you. She says, "Well, I guess I'll need a clean ladle now. I wasn't planning on serving asshole stew tonight."
That's good. I have no desire to sample any of that.
And then she kind of looks. She says, "You," and she's pointing directly at Xantor.
Me?
"Come here."
I'm gonna shuffle over, and I'm gonna be like, "Your bar is on fire."
It's not actually like the table didn't catch on fire. It's because it's like lacquered and pretty soggy. It's not like kindling, but there is a huge singe mark there. And she points. She says, "First, I'm gonna need some money for repairs. Second, if you ever set anything on my bar on fire again," and she just kind of puts the head of the ladle like right up against your chest. She says, "You don't want to find out what's going to happen next. Are we clear?"
I'm gonna kind of look at her, and then I'm gonna look at the table, and then I'm gonna look at her again, and then I'm gonna mumble something about easier to deal with plants when they need help, and then be like, "Yeah, we're clear," and then walk back to the other table.
Good. And then she, she says, "Right then, so dinner, everyone." And there's kind of some of the people in the tavern just sort of laugh a little nervously, kind of go back to talking and stuff as the volume in the tavern begins to rise a little bit as everyone is kind of going a little bit back. What is that?
Amico.
Sorry, I was getting feedback. So what are you guys doing?
Amico.
She's kind of walking towards the doors to the kitchen. She says, "Yes."
You didn't answer my question.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was the question again?
Are you all right?
Of course. It's nothing new to me. He's always been a little bit like this.
Very well. Put the axe away and go back to the table.
Yeah, you kind of even as she's kind of answering, you do. I mean, you get the sense that his words probably cut a little deeper than she may be kind of letting on. But she just kind of takes a deep breath and goes back into the kitchen, trying to get back to work. So, is there anything? I mean, for the rest of the night, is there anything you guys want to do, like do, ask, or take care of?
See, the sheriff said he was going to Magnamar when?
He hasn't. He said he was planning on it. He hadn't said anything official about it yet.
I could have sworn he said that he was leaving tomorrow.
No, he said he was working out arrangements, but he didn't actually say he was doing it. Like, he didn't say to give you a concrete plan yet.
Right. Okay.
All right. So you guys, kind of finish the rest of your drinks in relative silence. The tavern is not, it eventually returns to its liveliness, but you guys have had a pretty active day. So eventually you all make your way to your rooms, the ones that Ameko has graciously given you for the next week or so. And as you guys take your extended rest, when you guys are awake, you can all level up to level 2.
Ooh.
You don't necessarily have to do your stats now. We can I'll let you actually work out like your stats and stuff. If you do want to roll for hit points though, you're welcome to do that.
I was going to say that's about the only thing I would feel the need to do.
Yeah. So if you got spells to pick and stuff, I'm assuming most of you, if you've already had those picked out, you can set them. Otherwise, just roll for your health, and we will.
I know a certain druid who's really looking forward to this.
How is that? What we're just supposed to do? Just click the hit die and roll it, or
if you're just a fighter, or you don't get any special powers, then you just fighters is D10, I think, or is it D12?
Plus your Constitution modifier.
So you just roll a D12 or roll whatever your hit dice is. The way I generally do it is you can either before you roll, you can either choose to take half, or you can roll. So it's,
I'll roll.
If you roll,
I'll take my roll since
Okay.
that was a pretty good roll.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not a fighter. So what am I rolling?
Whatever your hit dice is.
Plus your
Do you see where you put your hit dice on your character sheet? If you just click hit dice, it rolls for you.
Okay, half of that would. So roll that, and then whatever. Okay, cool.
You can either take half
7.
and not roll, or you can roll and accept whatever you get.
I'll roll because half is. Yeah, my hit dice was 1.
No, that's how
No,
many
you rolled a
have.
D8 plus
your
1.
Your hit dice is so every level you gain another hit dice. So like fighter is D10, I think. Mage is like a D6, or a wizard. I'm sorry. Like every class has a different.
Yours is D8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
4
so we
Plus
get
your
a
Constitution
second.
modifier.
plus my Constitution. No modifier. It's just 1.
Okay.
So
Then it's already then you add 5 to your total hit points.
math is hard.
All right, and so you guys are awake in the morning. It is, it is a fairly normal day by all standards. We're gonna move you out of here, out of the tavern and into the street map. You guys awake to a normal morning in Sandpoint. There is activity in town. Let's put some activity on because I want to do some of that. Here we go. Okay. Yeah. So you make your way out of the tavern. What is your plan for today?
I'm gonna look at the guys and I'll be like, I think I'm gonna continue trying to sniff out the goblins, but I don't think I'm gonna need the dogs to do it. And I just kind of smile, and then I wanna. I'm gonna. Shoot, where is it? Hold on.
Alright.
Give me a second.
That's fine. As you guys are sort of assembling, like, kind of outside the tavern or maybe inside and planning your day out. There's kind of a knock on the door, like on the, there something gets your attention, somehow getting your attention. You see, there's a young man. He's got like a metal hat, like helmet on, but he's not like dressed like a guard or a soldier. He looks like probably one of the militia kids. He says, my lords, I was told to fetch you for the sheriff. He is asking for you.
I think technically we're down here, aren't we?
Yeah, you guys
Yes, we
are
are.
over. You guys are over at the tavern. I don't know where she is, but whatever.
What does he want?
I don't know. I don't know exactly. He didn't really say, but from what I hear, Shalalu's back in town, and she has important news.
Okay.
I will look at my compatriots and still basically ignoring the kid. Who?
They said shillelagh, the club thing that we've been using to fight.
That's
Yeah.
what I heard.
That's what I thought.
Mm.
And then I'm
Maybe
gonna turn and look and be like, I think we're good on weapons for today. Thank you. Pat him on the back.
He says, okay, but she seems to have information for you.
Stick has information for us.
Is this like is this a skill opportunity? I don't
don't.
understand. Did you sleep well? I'm confused now.
I thought I slept well.
Yeah.
Shall I tell them you're coming?
Tell the sheriff and his stick?
I don't know. What? I don't follow you.
I think you. What? I think you need to go back and get your instructions back in order because we're here to help save the city, not hear funny stories that the sheriff got new weapons. We're good on weapons. So tell the sheriff we don't need any new weapons today. Now run along.
Right. Okay, but I'll just tell him you'll be along then. I suppose. I think. Okay. And he just kind of turns and sort of, like, flustered, makes his way out of the tavern.
That reminds me of a scene in Hamlet. That whole thing reminds me of the scene where Polonius comes and is like, your mother wants to see. Well, tell her I'll be there by and by. I shall say so. It's easily said, by and by. You know? It's like, dick. Oh my god.
A little bit of Monty Python there. So I guess we should go visit the sheriff and his stick. I think that's what that poor lad was trying to tell us.
almost definitely. That's not why I'm not going.
Oh. But afterwards, I think I'm gonna spend some time sniffing out the goblins.
All right. Well, while you're talking to him, make sure that you pass along the message that I am not a trained dog. No one goes and fetches me. If he wants to talk to me, he knows where I am.
I don't want to go by myself. We can send Lycon to do it. And then we all turn and look
Lycon is indifferent.
Nor is he a trained dog to deliver messages. I'm more of a pigeon, I guess. No.
Let's see.
Do any of you know who this Shalelu is? Amico!
Adam, weren't you looking for that person when we first started this campaign?
No,
No, I
Kismet
definitely
is.
wasn't.
Kismet, because she's not here, she will actually speak up. She says, yes, Shalelu is, she's a protector of Sandpoint. She's an elf. I don't really know much about her, other than that she may know something about what happened to my parents.
So, side quest. Okay. Do you need us to go with you to find out information about what happened to your parents?
Well, no, I haven't asked anything about that. I was looking for her, but she keeps Sandpoint, safe and tracks all of the goblin movements in the area, so...
So she probably has information about the goblin attack.
If anyone does, it would be her, I think.
Damn it.
I guess we're going back to talk to your favorite friend again.
We're not talking to any friend of mine, but we might as well go. Otherwise, we make a liar of that stupid boy.
These people are stupid. Well, lead the way. I need to.
Are you coming?
I need to concentrate.
All right, Lycon, are you coming?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can we turn this music down a little bit? Because I hear that more than I can hear you guys.
Yeah, you can actually turn your own music down, but I'll turn it down.
Really?
Yeah,
How
it's
do I
in the cog all the way at the top left. There's a master music volume.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was
me
getting
the
really
top,
hard to
right?
hear everybody.
Oh yeah, I had assumed everyone had turned it down because I did. Sorry.
I haven't heard any music for the entire time we've been doing this, so I
Sorry.
didn't know what you're talking about.
It wasn't on stream, so I forgot about it.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
anyway,
Go ahead.
Yeah, let's go.
It is loud here too. Oh, sorry. That is because I have Sirenscape way up and these headphones. I gotta get new headphones. These ones are so quiet that I have to crank my volume up so I can hear anything, and I forget that it doesn't sound that.
we are
way.
now using the Patreon to get a new mouse and new headphones for Askren.
I'm not using that to get anything. That's no. I will. It's just these earbuds. Like I need a new pair of earbuds that are not these.
That was that stupid movie with that basketball playing dog, right?
Earbud. Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
That's-
No, I know what you're talking about. I get that reference.
Thank you, Captain.
So, you guys want to make your way across town to the sheriff's place?
Want to? Kind of have to. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, all right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So you make your way across the bustling town streets, and eventually you make your way over here to the garrison. Once again, just like the last time you guys were here, the kind of wooden doors are wide open. Some people are coming and going, and as you walk in, you're the person who's kind of waiting at the little desk at front, the clerk. He says, friends, you're expected right in the sheriff's office. It's this way."
Waiting for our druid to catch up. His token's still in the
Oh, yeah, don't worry about it.
in the tavern. There he is. Ish. There he is.
Sorry, Manicus. I ran like the Dickens. That's out of context reference. Guess what?
Yeah.
And
So
yeah, lead the way.
he's just gonna, he'll say, yes, of course. And he leads you down a hallway, to, you know, there's an office at the end of it, and the door is actually open, and you can hear kind of voices coming from it. And as he stands inside, he says, the sheriff is expecting you right inside. Yeah, pass and turn those off. So you guys going in?
Let him come out to us. Tell him that we're very busy today and he needs to come meet us outside. Because,
You're literally standing right outside his office.
yes, of course we are. Have him come out here and meet us. Because, we can't all fit in the room.
He says, yes, you can.
We'll just talk to you out here then. Since, no one wants to play friends today. What can we do for you today, Sheriff?
Please just get in the office.
See, that wasn't so difficult, was it? Now open the door and walk inside.
The door was already open. That's how he could hear you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was closed because you said we could hear people talking inside, so I presumed it was shut. Sorry.
Yeah.
Because I was about to pull out my hammer and knock.
No, the door is open, and you guys were just kind of weirdly waiting outside, shouting to him. So as you make your way in, you see that there is the sheriff is kind of sitting at at a kind of wooden desk. It looks kind of beat up, and it is covered in just papers and things. And he says, well, right, we're all here then. Well, introductions.
Can we see who he was talking? Never mind, you're about to get to it.
No, he says, introductions are obviously in order. I don't believe you've met our guests. And he gestures, and you see kind of standing in like, off to the side of the room, a few feet away from you, is a woman, an elven woman. She's fairly tall. She is dressed from head to toe in studded armor. In fact, let me see if I have a token. I may have a token. Hold on.
Would never provide tokens for one of the major NPCs.
I thought did that drop onto the thing?
If it did, I don't see it.
There we go.
Or I'm still kind of...
That is what she looks like.
Ah, yeah.
So she's kind of covered in studded leather armor. She has a quiver of arrows on her back and a bow on her back. And she's just kind of standing there, like, very, very calmly, just watching you with these wide, kind of elven eyes. He says, "This is Shalelu Andasana, a honorary, if unofficial, member of the Sandpoint Guard. Shalelu, these are some of our newest deputies. They've been helping with things, as I told you." She just kind of she nods, like very, very calmly. She doesn't really make much of an expression. He says, My newest crop of goblin slayers here have been dealing with some security issues, and I brought them here because, well, obviously I shouldn't be the only one hearing this news. Please feel free to fill us in. And as he kind of cedes the conversation to her, she's just kind of leaning against the wall. She says, "Baylor's told me of your work against the goblins, and it's well done from what I've heard."
Thank you.
I've dedicated the last several years of my life to keeping them from causing too much trouble around these parts. But they're tenacious and fecund little runts, like weeds that bite. I don't assume you've made any connections or conclusions as to the goblins that moved on the town. I think I may be able to help in that department. She kind of, stands up straight. She says, the first thing you need to understand is that there are 5 major goblin tribes in this region, and traditionally they're fairly skilled, fairly proficient at keeping each other in line with intertribal squabbles and things like that. Yet, from what I've been able to piece together, the members of a few tribes have been were collected for the raid on Sandpoint. I've just recently returned from dealing with a fair number of Mosswood goblins. Already some of them had been pretty injured, and there was a lot of chatter about Longshanks killing off many of them. I assume that you and the rest of the guard here may have been who they are speaking of. In any event, is the fact that some of these 5 tribes are working together is the most disturbing thing here. Goblins don't get along unless they've got something big planned, and big plans require big bosses. I'm afraid that someone's moved in on the goblins and organized them in some way. Judging by the recent raids, what they're organizing seems to be too structured to be good news for anyone. I have some theories on the matter, but, well, nothing concrete yet. After she's kind of done, speaking, she just sort of leans back against the wall, and the sheriff clears his throat. He says, "Right, well, there is also a great need to reinforce our troops in this, not just in Sandpoint, but also in the farmlands surrounding the town. And I don't have enough men for that. I'm going to be traveling 2 days south to Magnamar. I have a petition with a local judge that I can cut through as long as I'm there to make the request formally. I'll be requisitioning a contingent of troops and bringing them back to station them along the town and the outlying farmland roads. It should take me no more than 4 days round trip. However, I've already asked Shalelu to sniff around the Shankswood, the Brine Stump, the Mosswood, and even the Devil's Platter, to see if she can discover anything else about the goblins and their movements, who might be in charge. However, while I'm gone, I'm going to need someone to maintain a public presence, to keep order and morale up in the city." And he turns to you, Balin. He says, "That's where I'm asking you to step up."
Mm-hmm.
The locals seem to have taken to you and your friends. That's good. Seeing you around town will do a lot to keep worries down while I'm away.
I will just kind of look over at the rest of my compatriots.
You have any questions? Anything you need to know? Unfortunately, I'll have to be leaving fairly soon if I'm going to make the trip and still have time in Magnamar. Shalelu has told me she'll be in town at least for the rest of the day. I would suggest you and her sit down and discuss anything you need to discuss. Any
He's
questions?
asking you, not us.
Yeah, I'm not talking to him. How long did you say it's going to take you to get there and back, including time spent?
If I make good time on the road, about a day and a half's travel each way.
And while you are away, who is in charge of this town?
I have an official deputy, but I'd like to put you in charge. Put you and your friends in charge of some of the men here, so that you can get anything you need done.
And I glance over at Shalelu. And your position while he's away and you're in town?
She kind of raises an eyebrow. She says, I have no position here. I am a ranger. I keep this town safe from the outside. There's very little I can do from a tavern.
What skills do you have, combat-wise?
You talking to Shalelu?
Oh, yeah.
She kind of, you see kind of a kind of a lip curl like into kind of the corner of a smile. She says, I've been hunting goblins and other creatures in these woods for near 50 years.
So probably a bow.
Do you need a demonstration of my proficiency?
No, I need you to answer my question, please.
She says,
What weapons do you have skills with?
She says, I'm a huntress. I shoot, and if absolutely necessary, I can fight, but I'm a hunter and a ranger, not a scrapper.
Very well. Do you have the capability of teaching others how to use a bow? Or a crossbow, for that matter?
If I must.
Then this, Hemlock, is my price for taking over while you are gone. You will have any woodworker in this town who is capable of making ranged weapons that can be handled not only by your men, but by the women and the other people. You keep telling me this place is a merchant town. It is going to be a fucking graveyard if you don't start teaching more people to function as a militia. Yes, a child can be taught how to shoot a bow. Some of them might even be decent aim, and if they do their job well, fewer goblins will even get to the walls. My price is this. You expand your militia to include people who you would normally consider non-combatants. You get whoever you can who knows how to shoot and how to fight to train them, because they will still die if they don't know how to defend themselves. That is my price. If you are unwilling to grant me this, I will sign up for the next caravan and I will trouble you no further. That is it. The rest of these people you can parley with on your own.
The sheriff kind of puts his hand in his chin. He nods. He says, I don't know how much and how fast we can get done, but I'll have some of the guards put out the message.
I will look in on this training, and I would ask that you, Shalelu, also assist me in this, trying to teach these people as best we can how to defend themselves.
She says, I don't know. would you rather I stay here and train people to shoot, or walk the hills and attempt to find where the goblins are hiding?
I will turn back to Hemlock. Did you not say she was going to be in town for the next couple of days? Just moments ago.
No, he said she'll be in town for the day.
For the day. Okay.
Yeah, he said he instructed her to go check some places out in the hinterlands after that.
Okay, then that whole line of thrust has no purpose in being said. Never mind then. All right. No, fine. That's all right. I'm sure there are plenty of archers in the militia already. If your skills are better suited to the outdoors, then that is where you will be of the most service. But I hope you said you will be at a tavern. Which one?
She says, I have a standing reservation at the Rusty Dragon.
Of course you do. Very well, then I will see you there. Is there anything else?
No, I believe that's all that that's my meeting for today. I need to be on the road as soon as I can, making the best time I can. Is there anything else you need from me before I leave?
I need to know if you three are going to stay and help with this. I know that you, Keysmith, need to speak to her, apparently. But beyond that, are the three of you willing to help?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Kismet is looking a little in the corner.
You're muted, Adam, by the way.
Yeah.
Drink.
I have no liquor within arm's reach.
Water, then. Stay hydrated, whatever.
Kismet says, yes, we need to talk about some things, but we can do that later, I guess.
And are you going to help me with this, with this thing?
You gonna unmute yourself, Adam?
Yes.
Yes, you're going to unmute yourself?
Yes, I'll help.
Okay. And
Sorry, I'm preparing.
Clicking buttons, apparently.
Yeah, I'm clicking lots of buttons, so I was just trying not to mess things up.
All right. So Hemlock kind of nods. He says, "Very well. Well, I hope you. I will see you sometime in a few days. I have a trip to get underway."
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of stands. He kind of gestures to the door. He says, "Thank you for your time."
Thank you for asking. And I turn and walk away.
All right. So Shalelu she'll linger a second, in the office talking to the sheriff, but you guys kind of collect yourselves outside. So what exactly do you want to do? Do you want to just go? Do you want to go to the tavern and sort of find out what she knows, or do you want to go do something else?
I'm gonna look at the guys and I'm gonna say I'm gonna continue trying to sniff out where the goblins went, and then I'm gonna shapeshift into a. Well, actually, I'm in town, so I probably don't want to freak people out.
Oh, they've been freaked out plenty. What's a little more?
Well, what I was going to shift into would have freaked them out a lot. Mm-hmm. And it's the middle of town, it's the middle of the day, there's a lot of idiots in town, I don't want to get attacked. So...
Well, now, just as an out-of-character moment, remember that you can turn into any kind of animal that you've seen. You could turn into a mastiff. You spent all day yesterday with them. You could easily turn into a mastiff with no problem.
Yeah, I'm going to just turn into a mastiff and then, start sniffing around. I don't know how you want to work that out, if I have to use perception or...
We'll get into that. We'll deal with that in a bit.
Okay.
So,
I'm going to find the goblins.
All right, so he kind of transforms and walks himself out of the barracks, kind of looking for scent trails.
And before I do, I pee on the corner of the wall, marking my territory. And I look, and in dog form, I look at the sheriff as I do it.
He's still in his office.
I was going to say you should have done it on the corner of his desk.
Yeah.
Alright, so what about the rest of you guys? What are you guys doing?
Following him.
I guess we're going back to the tavern or wherever they're going. I've got nothing to do.
Okay, so we will say, for the sake of expedience, that you guys, make your way across the town. Xantor is not with you, and eventually you kind of, you catch up with a Mako at the Rusty Dragon. She's actually not a Mako, Shalelu. You probably arrive, like you're probably there before her, but as soon as she arrives, you see her just sort of instantly, like she kind of, a Mako rushes over and kind of gives her a hug and says, "Oh, Shay, it's so good to see you. I didn't know when you were coming back." And Shalelu's just like very, very kind of, monotone. It's just, yes, I've been fairly busy the last few days. I heard things have not been going well. And she says, as we've got some fine folk that have, as always, stand up and help when the town needs it. You've met them, right? And she kind of gestures over to you guys that are just sort of sitting at your normal table. And Shalelu will just kind of say, yes, we've met. Anyway, we will have to catch up later. I believe these deputies have some questions for me. And she'll just kind of walk over and, very, 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 very slowly, kind of casually just pull out a chair and take an upright seat at the table with you. She says, "So, what do you wish to know?"
That was for Kismet, wasn't it?
No, that was for you guys. Kismet is kind of waiting till after you guys are done talking goblins to ask her questions.
Not certain what else we needed. Oh, sorry, I was fully prepared to just be like, all right, you told me what weapons you use. That's all I care about. Okay, sorry. Now I've the rest of my brain that is not a fighter has caught up with me. You said it was Mosswood tribe that is causing all these troubles?
Not entirely. I had caught some goblins headed through the Mosswood.
Mosswood, sorry.
And they were the ones that I had interrogated somewhat. Allow me to start a little bit from the beginning. There are 5 major tribes in the region. There's the bird crunchers who live the closest to town. They live in the caves along the Devil's Platter, a large stony formation just a few dozen miles outside of town. They're generally the least aggressive of all of the tribes. In the south, there's the Lick-Toad goblins. They live in the Brine Stump Marsh. There's the Seven-Tooth goblins to the east. They live out in Shankswood. Farther than that, there's the Mosswood goblins, likely the largest tribe out there. And then, finally, there's the Thistletop goblins who live in the Nettlewood on top of an old island, with an old fort on top of it. And from what I've determined, the Thistletop goblins they've not left their fort. But some of the other tribes, absent the swamp goblins, have been brought together to launch an attack on Sandpoint. Obviously it failed, and the surviving goblins were driven back into the hills. My concern, of course, is that uniting so many tribes would require a powerful and intimidating leader.
Do we have any clue as to whether this powerful and intimidating goblin?
Yes and no. Well, yes, I know some information, but no, it's not concrete. There are a few characters that the goblins around would consider heroes, larger-than-life figures they might rally under. However, one of them has been on my radar for a little bit. There's a bugbear by the name of Bruthasmus. He's a ranger himself, and he's been a large thorn in my side for quite a while. He often visits many of the tribes to trade among them. I don't know if he's directly involved, but if anyone could act as a go-between and a trusted figure among all the tribes, he would be my first choice.
So, and of course, the floor is open to questions from everyone else. That, at this point, being Lycon, directed at Lycon since Xantor is walking the dog right now.
I don't have any questions.
Walking the dog. That's cool. Okay.
She says, "Now, the sheriff has asked me to venture into the hinterlands to collect more information, because I think based on where the goblins were fleeing to and where I caught them, I may be able to find and follow a trail to see where they may be going. However, there's a lot of unanswered questions here. The most pressing to me is the why of everything. Uniting goblins should be an easy task, or could be an easy task with enough power, but the question becomes why? Why attack the festival? Was anything taken? Was anything destroyed?"
If no other reason, attacking during the festival was smart because most of the populace of the city was located in one area.
Right, but goblins don't just kill indiscriminately. They raid for supplies, they follow orders, they fight amongst each other. They've never been known to just attack a civilization just to cause damage.
I don't mean just for the sake of attacking the people. I mean with all of the citizens, or at least most of them, at the festival that would have left many houses unguarded, easily broken into, as we recently saw down the street.
Right. Has anything surfaced? Any claims of anything missing or disturbed or taken?
Nothing that I know of at this point. We had...
The sheriff would have known that, not us.
Well, presuming anyone told him, he didn't go to a tavern instead. Sorry, that was a bit snippy of me. The only thing that we have seen thus far was a goblin who apparently was taking refuge in a house just down the street from here, hiding in a child's closet. But he certainly didn't leave before we turned him inside out. So if there was any attempt to steal anything, we just might... Amiko!
Amiko kind of walks over from, fixing stuff around the bar. She says, yes? How can I help you? What's up?
While we were at the festival, have you heard of anyone saying that anything has been missing?
No one's complaining about anything stolen or missing. There was a couple people that were complaining about some minor fire damage to buildings and things like that. The only thing I've really heard is people bad-mouthing my father. I've a little bit of that. but
I'm guilty of a lot of that myself. What I mean, you have well, the goblin in the house down the street had dug through the floor into the crawl space beneath the house, and so I'm wondering, are there like a community cellars? If Shalilu is supposed to be helping the outlying farms and everything, when these produce from the farms is brought in, are there grain cellars, things like that, where they are stored?
some houses have cellars. A lot of them don't. The town was built rather cheaply as a small settlement, so many of the buildings, the original buildings, don't. A lot of the grain is stored outside of the town limits, just outside. Though the Mercantile Guild does hold some of the produce, most of it passes through the markets.
My worry was that that perhaps there were more goblins hiding underground or trying to steal grain or anything else that they could get and eat from there. Now that you're back, I have to mute you again.
She says,
There.
Shalelu says, goblins don't really steal food all that often. They are much more prone to just eating wild animals that they can catch than actually. Honestly, I don't know why they would steal grain or vegetables. They probably wouldn't know what to do with it. She turns. She says, "How has your father been? I heard there was an outburst with him the other night." And Mako, as Shalea's talking to Mako, Mako's just kind of leaning on the bar. She says, "You know, he's never really. I think he's still upset about Mother's death, but he was never really the same after." She kind of looks like she's about to say something, and then she just sort of stops herself. She says, he hasn't been himself for a long time."
Of all of the tribes of goblins around here, which one do you think would be most likely to attack again?
Attack again? It really depends on why they attacked in the first place. From what I gathered, at least what I could observe, it seems that whatever was driven from the town was mostly scattered to the wilderness. So them reforming into a new force to attack seems rather unlikely anytime soon. She says, "I do fear, unfortunately, that whatever they were doing, it takes someone very intelligent to unite tribes of goblins. I fear who or whatever did it may have been after something more than just disrupting a festival. But until we find out what, it's
You will not understand the why.
That's why I'm headed back. I need to head back into the hills to see where they're all, if they're congregating, and see if there's any news."
Do you have any idea when you will return?
I can make it out to the Devil's Platter in about a day and a half, maybe less if I make quick time. 2 days. If I find anything there, I can be back within 2.5 days.
All right. Do you have anything, Lycon?
Nope.
Then I suspect that the young miss there would like to speak with you.
Sorry, say that again. Oh,
I said, then I suspect the young miss there would like to speak with you, that being Kismet. Which, if you want to, I guess at this point, jump to Xantor and let's see what he's finding out.
yeah. So at the end of the conversation, Kismet will kind of, just for the sake of this scene, Kismet will kind of ask, like, say, if you guys don't mind, I have some things to discuss with Shalelu. I think we'll do that upstairs. And she kind of like takes Shalelu aside to have a somewhat of a private conversation, which maybe you will learn the contents of, but by next week. But
Perhaps.
That is up to her. Anyway, so Xantor, you have left you've just left the garrison. Where are you headed? You're muted.
You are muted.
Yeah. Well, I've wild shaped into the shape of a mastiff, and first I'm gonna trot to where we last saw we last had a scent of where the goblins were over on by Rat Alley, Bench Street, outside of where that monastery was.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start there, and then I'm gonna follow my nose.
It always knows.
All right. So let me check something real quick. So as you make your way to sort of this corner here, let me just check something in the thing. So do me a favor and roll me a wisdom perception check. And which you have advantage on.
Advantage on.
Because you are a mastiff. Let's put some music on. I don't know when the music died off. Where is he in Busker?
Good thing you have advantage.
Yeah.
Okay. So you are making your way down the street and just kind of sniffing around, and much like the dog, like you get the sense you kind of come up against the same thing that you assume the dogs experienced here, which is there's just a riot of scent trails and stuff that that you can't really, like, it's hard to make sense of, but after a while you're kind of getting used to being a dog and using your senses, and you start being able to sort of pick out the different smells. Like you can tell what's pretty obviously a human, like the track of a human, and you try and kind of follow the other scents that you were pretty sure were goblin scents. As you're tracking around, you kind of come right up against, like, this trail you just managed to kind of follow for a little while, and it does lead in a sort of a meandering path, but eventually it comes to a stop right at the large sort of double doors that make up the freight entrance of this building right here.
Number 20.
Number 20, which is the Sandpoint Glassworks. You are muted.
You're muted again, buddy.
Trying to reduce the feedback coming through, so I try to stay muted.
That's
All right. How do I play this? Smart or stupid? I'm gonna. So, wild shape. I'm a little confused. Like, I know that I can cast and use it in combat.
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay.
I know it very well. What do you need?
All right. I want to know if wild shape is like one wild shape per action, or if I can wild shape into
you get one creature per casting of the spell.
Right. So I can, but I want to cast it again.
You can cast it again, but that's your last one until you take a short rest.
Extended.
Oh. Then I should probably not, because otherwise I'm going to be stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Although
Now you see where the other balance is. Otherwise, druids would be insane. I mean, they're close to it anyway.
But it would make for a lot of fun if I get
It
stuck
would.
in the next form. Make for a very interesting
You know,
combat.
It only lasts for an hour.
Yeah, no, and you can drop it at any. I believe you can drop it at any point.
Yeah. Yeah, anytime.
Yeah. You're not like permanently a dog until you switch back. Like switching back to to your normal form is not a spell cast.
I'm gonna head back to the tavern to meet up with the other guys.
Okay. So you find this trail and that's it.
Well, I'm gonna find the trail, but I'm gonna mark it. I'm gonna mark the trail with my urine,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna trot like exactly where that like the strongest scent was, by the way, and then I'm gonna trot back in dog form back to the bar, tavern, pub.
How long has he been wandering around?
Probably about 45 minutes, you know.
Okay.
So we'll say that unless you guys have any other business, I mean, he can easily join you back at the tavern, in pretty short order.
And I want to bust in and start trying to talk to them, but it's just.
I was gonna say that's all.
And I'm gonna be pawing and pulling at Balin's trousers to get them to follow.
Fortunately, we saw you shift.
Yeah.
So. I suppose that he wants us to follow him. Do you want to wait here, or do you want to come along?
I'm gonna pull it. I'm gonna pull a Lycon as well. And then I just dart out the door and I drag them back to 20.
Okay.
Racing towards 20.
All right. So you eventually manage to bring the two people. Kismet is still kind of deeply engaged in her conversation with Shalelu. So you managed to bring the other two guys across to this little alleyway where they're kind of walking up around the front end, around the side of this large glassworks building. I mean, from inside you can hear through the stonework. You can hear kind of the deep rumble of the forge.
I'm gonna shift back to human form, and I'm gonna say the goblins came from in here.
From in here?
I shifted, and I spent some time sniffing around, and they're either in here, or they came from in here. But the scent focused right here on these double doors. And then I point to my pee, and I'll be like, I even marked where it is. That's my pee.
I'll take your word for it. Do we still have the other two mastiffs with us, or did we?
No,
or are they?
You gave those back.
Okay, I thought so. I was like, just have them dragging along with us.
Yeah, no, that was yesterday. You.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was worried that we still had them. All right, what do you think we should do?
Well, it's the middle of the day. Isn't this place open?
Yeah, I mean, you can hear the rumble of the forge from inside. Seems like the glassworks is kind of operating.
So
We're technically in charge of securing this town. We can pretty much do whatever the hell we want.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I was so close when he said that the sheriff's desk had papers all over it. I was going to say, that's a fire hazard, but then I figured you would just see. No, don't say that.
I'm gonna look at him and I'm be like, I'm heading in, and I'm gonna start pushing the door open.
The doors open outwards. They're freight doors.
Of course they are. So by push I meant pull, obviously.
Clearly.
And I'm gonna start pulling the doors open. I'm heading in.
The freight doors are actually locked.
Of course they are. So.
Okay,
Hey, I'm gonna look at the thief. No, why would we? I'm gonna look at the rogue and be like, "There's never been a lock you can't handle, right?"
I don't have any tools apparently, so I can't unlock it.
We could get you
Why
tools.
don't you have tools?
Because they weren't on my sheet. And last time I tried to use them, he told me I didn't have them, so I couldn't use them.
When did
Wow.
you try and use them?
When we were going,
I tried to break into the other house.
yeah.
I don't know. I assumed it. I don't. Yeah, I assumed your proficiency came with them.
Yeah, but you told me I didn't have them listed, so I couldn't use them.
I don't remember that.
So I tried to break it. And that didn't work, so. Then again,
Yeah, it says
if the place is open, we can just walk in the front door and tell them we're here on official business, and they kind of have to let us look around.
I don't think we want to give the goblins a chance to escape.
I hope the goblins aren't working the glass forge. The whole town would have burned down by now.
Much easier to throw them in there if they're right next to it, though.
And there's things that are already on fire. You can make it explode more.
All right, it's your call. You want to go through the front door? Lead the way.
All right, where's the front door?
So you guys want to look for the entrance of the glassworks. Give me 1 second, and let me find a thing. Of course, my PDF is.
Don't know.
Right now.
I would figure it was probably on Glass Street.
So you kind of make your way around from the from the loading dock around the corner, and there appears to be, like, you actually kind of passed it on your way up the street. This kind of big, there's like a sign that says offices on this little corner over here, and then there's a sort of a main entrance like right over here.
So we're standing next to another door.
No, you're not standing next to it. You're kind of nearby an entrance to what are probably the business offices, and then there's an actual like storefront entrance at the other side.
Let's go through the office door. Why would we? Yeah. I'm not looking to buy things. We're looking to intimidate and tell some fools what's going on.
Okay, so you wanna knock on the or open the door.
Can I open it?
Yeah. You open it, and there's a kind of a young woman sitting there, just at this desk. She says, "Hello. How can I help you? Welcome to Kaijitsu Glass."
No chit chat. We need to inspect the premises. You've got goblin infection going on.
I'm sorry. What did you say the name of this place was?
Kaijitsu Glassworks.
Fuck.
Lanchiku's father? Or Lanchiku? Oh,
Yes.
of course it is.
We're here to make an inspection. We're working for the sheriff while he's out of town.
Quality control. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna start walking toward the back of the factory. Balin, why don't you go check out the store?
Yeah, you're not anywhere near the factory. You're literally in a small reception office right now.
There's no door leading out of there into the back area?
There is a door, like, that, there's actually two doors in the room that she's in, but you kind of have to push by her desk. She says, right, I don't think the owner said anything about an inspection.
No, it's okay. It's a quality control inspection. These are random, and in order to get the best quality, they're unscheduled. So we have the approval of the sheriff, and we're gonna go past you. We're gonna make this real easy for you, so you can either do this the easy way.
Roll a bluff check, please.
Okay.
Intimidation, you mean?
He's lying. He's not shouting.
Right, but I mean,
gonna
you
have to
mean
be
intimidation
persuasion.
or deception?
Sorry. Bluff is Pathfinder Deception.
Deception.
Yeah.
Ah, Jesus. It wouldn't have made a difference if it was persuasion or intimidation. Me and my negative charisma. Come on!
She's kind of looking at you from behind her desk. She says, I don't think I've ever heard of a quality inspection. We're quite busy at the moment. If you'd like to put in an order or a custom production, I can have that done for you.
I'm gonna look at I'm gonna look at Balin, and I'm gonna say, do you want to take a shot at pushing her along? Otherwise, I'm gonna amp it up a little bit.
No, that's all right. I'll... Young miss, please. We were ordered. I use that term. No, actually, I don't use that term. We were requested to continue securing the buildings of this city for Sheriff Hemlock while he is gone to Magnabar in an attempt to secure more troops. We used a hound to try to track the goblins to wherever they may have come from. That track led to this building. We are here to make an inspection of this building to ensure that there are no goblins here, or if they have been here, that we can figure out what... These would be the goblins that were part of the attack on the town, not, 2 days ago? So please, if you cannot escort us, at least let us in to look around.
She says, I suppose you could inspect or you could be accompanied to the production floor, but there's really nothing to see there. It's just a furnace room.
Then our inspection will be short.
She kind of nods. She says, right. And can I just get your names so I can provide them to the boss when he...
Oh, he's going to love that. My name is Balin Koth.
Okay, and that's C-O...
K-O-T-H.
Okay.
Gentlemen.
I'm gonna look at her and say no.
I've got no reason to give her my name. I'm just going to start walking past her. We ain't got time for this crap.
Okay. You're walking past shit. Excuse me, please. You can't go in there without
He
being
can-
accompanied by...
I've got
Longi-
two people accompanying me.
Longico can speak to me on their behalf if he wishes.
Oh, right.
He knows where to find me. We've
She-
met before.
She kind of fumbles with a ring of keys and sort of like puts them in, puts one of them in the lock on the door on the right side and kind of opens it. She says, this way.
Where does that one go?
Why would the door be locked?
It's just like, it's like an employee.
What if there was a fire? How are your people going to get out?
There is a fire. It's a furnace.
There are other exits. This is just the reception office. There are many entrances and exits. That door on the left over there, that's a private office that Mr. Kaijitsu uses. I don't really go in there. He very rarely uses it anyway, but it's for his meetings, his private meetings.
Could you open that door, please?
No, I don't. I don't think he'd like that.
Right now, it's a request. In a few moments, it's going to become a demand. And if not then, I will use, and I pull out my hammer, I will use my key. I really don't want to have to do that. I told you we are acting on Hemlock's request. Please.
Roll me an intimidation check, please.
12.
She she's looking like, again, this is a small woman. She's not like, she just kind of looks like a nervous secretary. She says, okay, but don't mess anything up. He'll know, and he'll...
I'm not going to touch anything. I'm just going to look.
She just kind of puts the key in the lock and turns it, and as she opens the door, you see this is you're looking into a small office. It's actually just slightly bigger than Sheriff Hemlock's office, with kind of like a carven wood desk and 2 chairs. Really not a whole lot other than that. There's some shelves, but it doesn't look like anyone really uses it that much.
Should probably look around and see if anything looks suspicious.
Please don't disturb anything. We have enough problems with this asshat as it is.
Uh,
Why is my forge sound
Not
playing?
you.
I wasn't gonna do anything in this form.
Mm-hmm.
Should probably
Well-
save that for later.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna search the room for things and such. Do we see any
You're gonna search
secret
you're gonna
buttons
search
or hidden messages or?
the tiny office? Is
Yeah.
that what you're doing? You're searching the little office that she opened?
While he's doing that, I'm going to turn her towards me so that he can move in without her
Okay.
as readily seeing it. I'm going to talk to her about stuff.
Okay. What exactly are you looking for, Lycon?
Documentation, secret passageways, buttons, anything that he's trying to hide in there.
Okay. Where are you checking anywhere in particular, or are you just kind of like padding around the whole room looking for?
The shelves, if there's pictures hanging on the walls, I'm checking behind those. I'm checking the desk. I'm checking under the desk.
Roll me a
The water
perception check,
cooler.
please.
What's up?
Roll me a perception check, please.
Perception or investigation?
Let's say investigation. Why not?
There's two different. I don't know actually why those are different. I think perception would cover that one too.
Hell yeah, fucking Batman. Where have you been all week?
So you're kind of you're like picking papers up. You're kind of opening drawers in this desk, and you're padding around. I mean, nothing you touch seems to be like attached to anything in any weird way. Like nothing's hidden behind any of the picture frames. You don't find it like it's, as far as you know, like it's just an empty office.
Okay. Then I turn around and I walk out. I'll close the door behind me.
Okay. Yeah. As you do, like, Balin, you're kind of talking to this young woman, and she's like, "Excuse, no, please don't." And then as he shuts the door, she says, "I'm gonna get fired for this."
If he does, I know plenty of people who will hire.
She says, "Do you really need to search the rest of the building, or are you done here?"
Yes, we do need to search the rest of the building. Let me ask you this. Were you at the Swallowtail Festival?
Of course, I was.
Did you have any family with you?
Yes, my younger brother and some of my more distant relatives. Why?
Friends as well, possibly?
I know a lot of people in town.
All right. Was any one of them hurt in the goblin attack?
I know one or two people who got injured. Yes, why?
Because the whole reason we are investigating this building is to try to ensure that nothing like that happens again. We need to make absolutely certain that they are not here, hiding, as we have already found one hiding in another house across town. So we are now going to check this building. If we do not find them, hopefully we'll find out where they came from, where they are going, and whether or not they will be back. So, we do not do this in any attempt to get you into any kind of trouble. We are doing this to try to save this town.
Roll me a persuasion check, please.
Persuasion. Oh, good. I'll take a 21, please.
Yeah, I mean, she's kind of like, you can see she's been a little bit flustered. She's been, kind of knocked around by various sort of verbal assaults and techniques. So she's like, her mental guard is almost completely like shot. So when you start talking, she's just like, okay, thank you. And then she kind of just gestures, says, the floor is this way, as she points towards the open door.
Thank you very much. And I will wander on through.
All right. As you guys make your way through the door that she opened, you're basically standing in a hallway that looks like, it goes up, there's a few feet of hallway, and then it looks like a kind of like an intersection that branches off one side has some double doors, another side has a single door. She says, that one's just the loading dock. There's nothing really there. We just keep the powders and the things for the glass making locked up there. That way is the workers' quarters. They have rooms and a kitchen and things.
Every room.
Might as well start with the loading dock since that's what we were looking at before.
She says, you have to understand, where production is in process right now. I can't have you going in and walking among the workers there.
We can do this dance all day. It's much easier if you just give us the keys and we open this. Otherwise, we're gonna just keep pushing you along to open all these doors. So, do you want to help us? Give us the keys. We won't tell your boss anything. You can say that several burly men came in and robbed you for the keys. We don't care. Just help us help you. Make your job a lot easier.
I understand, but I don't really know what you're looking for.
Oh my god.
You don't have to know what we're looking for. That's not your job.
I mean,
she's still holding the keys, or she have them like in a pouch or in a pocket, or...
She'll kind of push through the set of double doors and just kind of lead that, like walk down this long hallway. And she's like, you only pass one door along the hallway. She says, there's nothing, that one's the employee bedrooms. And she just kind of opens it up, and it just looks like a kitchen area. She says, "There's nothing. We have 8 full-time employees that live and work here."
Good for them. Let's get to where the loading docks are and where all these chemicals and supplies are stored.
She kind of leads you back down the hallway and just kind of unlocks this door, and you're just like, oh wow, the music's not appropriate. Yeah,
but is it like smooth jazz? Like we're gonna have some
it's
kind of
a little bit kind of
Magnum PI
building fantasy music. No, she kind of opens the door. She says, this is just where the shipments and the materials come in and out. You can see there's kind of shelves ringing the walls that look like they kind of contain sacks, like heavy burlap sacks. You can see at least one heavy iron safe that's kind of closed off towards the center of the room. And I mean, other than kind of like wheelbarrows full of junk, it looks basically like you'd expect, like kind of a loading dock area.
I think we should have our druid friend sniff around a little bit more now that we're inside.
These doors lead outside?
Those are the freight doors, so yes.
That would have been where we were standing moments ago.
That's exactly where we were standing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what's in all these boxes?
Powders. There's I don't know all of it. I'm not a glass maker. There's, I think, some cobalt, some tin, some the untreated glass powder. It's used for coloring the glass panes, and as far as I know, the safe holds the silver and the gold powders.
I'm gonna start throwing the powders and stuff out of the crates, just tossing them aside, looking inside the crates.
You pick up some bags. Yeah, you open.
I don't think I'd want to stick my hand in glass powder. That just sounds...
No, it's not like glass powders. So glass is made by actually using different types of powders to color the glass when it's baked. So they mix like manganese or tin or cobalt into the actual glass to kind of color it. This is just sacks of that kind of coloring stuff.
Question.
Yeah.
So I can do AC1 creatures with wild shape. Would my knowledge of nature allow me to do something such as a dire wolf now?
If you've seen one.
I have to have visually seen one?
Yes.
You have to have seen the creature in order. You can turn into anything you've become up to challenge rating 1. So long as you've chosen to be a druid.
Is a direwolf a challenge rating 1?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Direwolves are a little bit rare, so I'd say probably no, but a regular wolf you totally could.
Okay. I'm gonna shape into a wolf, and I'm gonna, from where that scent last was, I'm gonna start sniffing around.
Around where the door was?
Yeah, but I'm gonna snarl at the lady first.
Okay. She, like, kind of runs to the opposite side of the room. She's, like, freaked out.
Good. Yeah, I'm gonna sniff where the door was. Find the trail of Kappa.
When you kind of sniff to pick up the trail, like, you can kind of pick up the scent at least, especially where you marked it. But inside this room, like your nose is just going crazy. I mean, there's the scent of a lot of people, and a lot of chemicals and stuff in here that are kind of they're kind of dizzying you a little bit.
Okay. Let's see.
He's doing that. I'm going to kind of go and, as best I can, comfort the young lady. It's like, so he has no social skills. I apologize.
So do you want to do anything while you're kind of sniffing around? Do you want to, like, actually do me a favor, roll me a perception check, please.
And remember that you will have a plus to your perception as a wolf.
He would have advantage, but just I'm
not advantage, a plus.
Oh, I don't have a wolf stats in front of me. Give me a second.
Hang on, I'll get it.
I got it. Wolf. You have keen hearing, advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on hearing or smell, and perception is +3.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're muted, sir.
It's 21. 21.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's hard to just to kind of discern in here, but you think you can kind of make out a little bit. You make out the smell somewhere, but where exactly is hard. You definitely can kind of pick up the scent in here, but you can't track down where its source is. It just seems to be kind of lingering a little bit. It's also pretty faint.
I'm gonna go running down the hall and start sniffing the other room.
Oh, so the hallway that you came from?
Yeah.
You mean where she said the dormitories were?
Yep.
You don't smell anything over there.
I'm gonna go back to the front office, see if I saw anything there.
Nope.
Alright, let's keep searching. We still got a whole lot of places to go.
Oh, we still have the rest of this building to go. We haven't looked in where the furnaces are, I don't think.
Nope.
Yeah.
You can hear from where you are. I don't know why it's very low on Sirenscape, but you can hear sort of the bellowing of the glass furnaces. Like it's just this kind of like that's just kind of a constant sound, and it sounds like it's in the wall, like immediately behind you. And there is actually a door over there, and you kind of get the sense that you would, if you kind of went through there, the sound would probably be much louder.
That way.
All right, so you push your way through the door, and I mean you're just kind of looking, like instantly you're hit. Let me here.
A bit of a heat wave, I imagine.
Heat wave. Heat wave.
Oh, and Adam, I see that you have you changed one of your hit point numbers, but not the other one. Because looking at your token, the HP bar goes way outside the square for it, so you want to make sure that they match up.
Yeah.
Which one do I change?
Well, over on your
both
character
sides
sheet.
of the number.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
All right.
There we go.
So you guys are hit kind of by this deep bass rumble of this furnace. As you can see, you're in a kind of a long kind of room, big kind of skylights letting light in down, and the entire wall to your left is just this bellowing furnace, the heat of which you can feel. You can actually see a bunch of guys here are kind of moving back and forth, just like hammering. You can hear them hammering out pieces of glass on these large marble tables. You know, they're kind of in the middle of working, and some of them, like one of them is nearby. He kind of turns, like tongs in hand, and you see him kind of lift a set of goggles. He says, "What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be in here."
Sure, there's lots of places we're not supposed to be, but we're gonna be in here anyway.
He says, that's not gonna happen. Ain't no one in here without safety gear.
Where would we get this safety gear?
He says, we got maybe a set of goggles or two, but I ain't got enough to outfit a lot of you. What do you need? We're in the middle of business.
Then you should probably get back to work and let us continue with our work.
He says, you're on my floor. What do you need? What are you doing here?
We are here at the behest of Hemlock to search for any evidence of goblin presence now or recently. We are clearing all the buildings in town.
He says, and you need to come into my furnace room to do that? Look.
Let's see, is this a building in town? Yes.
And you see any goblins around here? No.
Not yet. You haven't gotten out of my face to let me do my job.
He kind of peers. He says, friend, there's 6 other men in this room working a hot glass furnace all day. You think any of us are gonna tell you there's we ain't... What, you think there's a goblin living in our furnace room?
I don't think there's probably one here right now. No, but there may be evidence of one having been here, or more, having been here recently. This is what the sheriff has asked us to look into. I am not here to contest the fact that this is your floor. You are the boss here. I am a guest. I am merely asking you to assist me in completing my job so that I can get the hell out of your way so you can continue with yours.
He says, you tell me what you're looking for. You make it quick.
I'm just gonna start following the dog as hopefully he goes to walk off.
His eyes
Searching for
are
sense.
his nose is on fire right now. Like,
Is he up against the furnace?
no, I mean like just
Not
like,
literally on fire.
Is he licking the glass?
The scent of burning coal and pitch, the scent of melting
glass.
melting glass and kind of tempering and quenching steam and smoke in here. There's no way you can pick out a scent in this room.
And of course, mad flesh.
That's fine. I'm not gonna try to smell anything. I'm gonna see if we see any like tracks or anything, smaller foot tracks or anything around the room.
There would probably be a fair bit of soot on the floor.
Yeah, so it would leave like little footprints.
I mean, you could probably look for footprints in here, but from the it looks like there are quite a few people in here, and they're tracking back and forth. So I mean, if there were any footprints in here that weren't destroyed, probably be very lucky. You're welcome to look though.
Well, I don't know. I can't smell anything. I can't see anything. I can't hear anything.
Mostly you can't. It's pretty hard to see in here. Like there's smoke kind of billowing out of this furnace.
Wait.
The guy.
I hope not. I hope the smoke is being vented out.
No, it is. It's like but there's kind of like steam and stuff that's coming out. Like it's a pretty hot and hazy room. The foreman clearly is sort of standing there saying, "Well, can you get on with it? We got work to do."
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Sorry, I'm thinking.
That's why I'm waiting. I figured you sounded a moment ago like you had something that you wanted to do, so I'm holding.
I do. There's always a simple solution to a complex problem.
Well, you're figuring that out. Go ahead.
Yeah, do your thing while I figure this out. I need to make this work.
All right. If I may ask, how many entrances are there to this room, this foundry?
He says, do you count both of the doors at the far end? They both lead from the same hallway.
No.
Then 2.
This may seem a bit odd. I have a question, but for a moment, imagine if you were a goblin, where would you hide in here? And please don't take that as a joke. I'm being quite serious. If you were a goblin, where would you hide in this room?
I don't know. Probably somewhere away from the furnace.
Can you point some space? I mean, I would imagine they're probably not hiding in there. If they are, we have no need to look for them. So where are these other spaces that you think?
He says, but again, okay, so the furnace is on, like, let me draw this out for you. So the furnace room is this. No, I'm not on. So the furnace room takes up about this much space, right?
Oh, those 2 lines.
That.
Yeah, gotcha.
That's the furnace room. Each of those circle things are like dome lights, like glass domes in the ceiling. The furnace is is pretty much this entire wall right here. So like, and this whole side is like bay windows and stuff. All this
Looking out onto the beach.
pretty much.
Okay. All right. So, which of these areas do you say?
He says, I don't know. There's the furnace on one side. There's windows on the other. There's a couple tables. There's not really anywhere to hide in this room.
We'll make it quick. And I'm going to start moving down the line and doing a cursory search of shit. Of stuff. And things. And druid.
What are you looking for?
Anything any sign of goblins. I mean, I'm sure that the guys that are tracking back and forth, most of their tracks are between wherever they're working and the furnace. Back and forth in those areas, and then the occasional trip off to some other, like a pile of.
So you're looking for any kind of aberration in the footprints?
And we're looking for children feet. Goblins are tiny.
Little Bible.
Roll me a perception check, and also Adam. Adam, what were you trying to do?
Well, I'm gonna look at them, and then I'm gonna look at the foreman. I'm guessing, and I'm gonna say, well, there's an easy solution to this. I can't smell anything. It's way too hot. Sorry, go ahead.
Are you a wolf right now? Because you can't talk while you're doing that.
Oh, shit.
Just, if it's a rah, 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 is what it comes down to.
Oh, man, I lose this ability. Damn it! I'm going to let them play out what they're going to do first. I need to think about this.
Okay. So just go ahead and roll me Balin, you're kind of searching. Not a whole lot turning up, man.
Yeah.
It's not like it doesn't, no tracks that seem out of the ordinary or look like they were probably made by feet other than these workers that you can see.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, go for it.
So I'm gonna leave my wild shape, unfortunately, and then I'm gonna look around and say the biggest problem I have here is all this damn smoke and the fire. And I'm going to cast Gust of Wind right at the furnace, putting the fire out.
Okay.
You're shaking your head slowly. He's like, why do you do these things to us?
Well, that's not why I was shaking my head. I mean, what? Yes, that's also true that I was kind of thinking that, but that's not why I was shaking my head.
So you kind of, you sort of cast a burst of wind that sort of blasts towards one of the large sort of openings in the furnace, and the furnace does not go out. What actually happens is the furnace kind of like a cloud of sparks just roars out of the furnace as this air hits it and kind of billows, the flames licking out of the thing, and it just sparks are all through the air, and everyone around starts screaming and shouting, and the foreman is instantly going to grab Xantor by the collar and push him away. Says, "All right, all
That's
three of you
why I was
out
shaking my head.
now."
That's why I was shaking my head.
Oh, no, we're here on a job.
Out
You can't push us around.
now.
No.
And he's like shoving Xantor towards the door.
That the job is, unless you, Lycon, want to have a look around, as far as I'm concerned, this job is done.
So the whole glass thing was a complete dead end.
Well, I'm out of ideas.
Yeah. I feel like there wasn't going to be anything to look for, then we just kind of wasted a whole bunch of time doing nothing.
Right.
So as you guys are being herded out of the glassworks by an angry foreman, kind of like shoved out the door, yelling. There was yelling and screaming behind you. Eventually, you're kind of like thrown out on the street. It is getting to be later in the afternoon. I mean, you guys are just kind of covered in a little bit of soot. Just kind of wheezing out of breath from catching your breath from the clean air, not sort of the furnace fumes. Let me turn that down, actually. And yeah, what do you want to do? You're just kind of on the street. Is there anything else you want to do with your day?
Win? No. Well, yes, but you should work on those powers you're gaining.
Yeah, well, I didn't really have any way to sniff around, and I'm certain that the goblins either came from here or they left here, and we need help to investigate this more. Because this is the second time. This is not a dead-end lead. Otherwise, like, what am I smelling? Like, do goblins smell like the powders are used?
Doubtful, but you're also not wrong. The other night, we bring these dogs out. They bring us to the building right next door. Clearly, the goblins had led to this direction, but we're not going about this quite the right way. Perhaps we should... That might not be such a good idea. I'm about to say perhaps we should come back when there's no one around, but I'm certain that's going to go over poorly.
I can recon this place if I can get some rest. I was going to do it earlier, but I wanted to point out to you guys where this was.
Are there any rats inside?
You didn't see any rats.
Damn. Adam, go find some rats.
I like where your head's at. I had another similar way, but much smaller.
If you'd like to sort of, you could take an extended rest and get your wild shape back.
Yeah. I need to do that. And then...
Okay.
Extended rests all around.
All right.
Yeah.
It is, okay, so just to clarify something, did you guys want to rest, like, till morning, or did you want to try and get up, like, sometime early in the night? Because it's technically late afternoon right now. You only need about 8 hours of sleep or resting. Well, not necessarily sleep, it's just, like, very, very light activity. So,
that's a full rest, though.
Yeah, he needs an extended rest to get...
Short rest. Short rest for beast shape.
Yeah!
Oh, okay.
All right.
That's one reason I love it so much. But that's still an hour that we have to rest.
So I could just
we wouldn't come back out until evening.
I could just lay down right here in front of their building.
So long as no one interrupts you, yeah, you could do that.
No, let's go. I don't want to like trek back and forth and lose time.
We just go to the our new office.
Yeah. Let's go. All right. See ya. All right, let's go to their new office then.
Whose new office?
Our new office at the
tavern?
police station.
That's what I was afraid you were going to say.
I was like, what office are you talking about?
I know. I was like,
He asked us
there's
to be
only-
sheriff while he was gone.
He said
Yeah, he
deputies.
did.
He said deputies.
No, he said we're in charge.
No, he asked Balin to.
He did introduce us to. No, he did introduce us to Shalala as a new set of deputies. I did rankle a bit at that and almost corrected him. But it was just,
What would you have corrected that to?
that I don't fucking work for you. I am not your deputy.
Even
I
though
happen to be some person.
Even though you then accepted a job.
As sheriff, pro tem, yeah.
No, it's fine. So where do you guys want to go?
We're gonna go hang out in our new office. It's closer.
Okay. Yeah, you chill.
But it's presuming he's gone.
You guys.
He might
He
not
should
be
be by
home.
now. He was bitching about not being able to leave. He was like, "I gotta go."
Okay.
I
So
hope
you
he's
guys-
gone by now.
You guys kind of rest a little bit in the garrison. Did you? So what exactly was your plan? You're gonna take, we'll say, about an hour, 2 hours of just kind of gathering yourself. Again, did you want to go back there while it's still the day? Did you want to wait till late at night, or did you, what was your? What was
I was
your
gonna
game plan?
take Adam back at night
Yeah.
in his rat form.
Well, are there any spiders?
What do you mean?
It'll take you forever to
Spiders
pick around,
everywhere.
There's probably spiders everywhere, right?
Yeah, but what are you gonna smell or see with that?
I don't
You're
need
not
to
gonna
see
smell
her.
anything.
I don't need to see any. I just need to see
If the
everything.
glassworks are closed down, then the furnaces shouldn't be going unless they're gonna keep them going all night.
No, but a glassworks, the furnaces stay hot for. It takes them days to cool down.
They'll still be hot, but there won't be flames. There won't be
That-
smoke.
Yeah.
There won't be any chemicals around being mixed or manipulated, so it shouldn't be
Well, I wasn't gonna.
as.
I wasn't gonna like go sniff anything out. I was just gonna go observe. I was gonna go in as a spider and just be a spider on the wall, fly on the wall, spider
But
on
you
the
can
wall.
only be a spider for an hour.
So okay, so do you want to kind of recon as long as you can and then like bring information back to them, or do you want to like
Yeah,
okay
yeah.
So we'll say by the time he kind of goes off to do some recon, he can do it in spider form or like as a bird, or a mouse.
Nope.
It doesn't really
Nope.
matter.
No bird.
No
No
bird.
bird?
Can't fly till level 6.
Okay, then
No,
never mind.
you can't fly until level 8.
8.
You can't,
Yeah,
you
sorry.
can't do swimming until level 6.
Ah, my
Yeah.
bad. What are the rest of you guys? I mean, it's getting late in the afternoon, early into the evening. What are the rest of you guys doing while he's going off to do his recon?
I thought they were going to go do the recon.
Or are you gonna go out until evening?
He's gonna go. He said he wants to go out, stay as long as he can, and then come back with whatever information he
Okay?
has.
That would be 2 hours that he can stay in that
Yeah.
form.
So I'm asking what you guys want to do.
In the meantime, I was going to stay in the sheriff's office and look through his papers.
Okay.
And I'm just
So
gonna hang out
effectively,
back
you can,
in the dark.
Yep. I was going to say, effectively, you can take me out of the equation and
Okay.
play with those guys for a while.
So, you know what? Give me 2 seconds. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm actually gonna send something to Adam in private, so that he can decide what he wants to do with the information. Okay. So, give me 1 second while I type this up. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
Talk amongst yourselves. Yeah. So
I'm not there.
No, I mean you and me, not
Oh yeah.
not the characters. How you been?
Yeah, I'm good.
Huh? Okay.
Yeah. Gotta get back to work tomorrow.
Oh,
So excited.
oh yeah. I would imagine so. So you had your Hermione Granger problem down there.
Hermione Granger.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, he got
It actually wasn't Hermione. It was, what was they calling it? Hermine is what the name of it actually was. It was not Hermione.
Yeah.
I never actually heard anybody say it. I just saw it spelled out, and even though that's not how you spell Hermione, I just thought Hermine. Okay, we're calling
Yeah,
it
no, that's
Hermione.
the same thing I thought too. But it was Hermine. I heard somebody pronounce it. I'm like, man, they're retarded. But apparently that's how it's pronounced.
How big did it
Or
get?
one news agency messed up, so the rest of them just felt bad and decided to mispronounce it too.
So what category was it by its largest?
One.
It's a category 1, which sucked because like some people still died, and usually people don't die from category 1s.
There was a lot of storm surge was the problem. There was a lot of the rain was the problem. The wind wasn't too bad. It knocked over some stuff, but mostly annoyances.
I was in Houston for Hurricane Hugo. That was awesome.
Yeah, that's a big problem. There just hadn't been one in a while. I mean,
I was sitting on top of the house watching it come in. I stepped my like, get off the roof! I'm there with my golf club. What? What's wrong?
Oh man, you got to jump on a trampoline.
Ooh.
Why?
That's fun.
Why is jumping on a trampoline fun during a hurricane?
Because of the wind, you jump and you just go wee, and it carries you. It's great, especially when you're small.
And you're wearing a wingsuit?
Rain jacket, just open it back up.
Ooh, big
And
duster.
it'll just carry you right off. So much fun. Until, the trampoline starts doing this, then you kind of have to get off.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Are you sending me a message? Because it's typing and then it goes away.
I'm thinking he is.
Yeah, I can read his lips. He was like, yes, I am.
That's such a wonderful skill. I love that skill. Reading
Reading
lips.
lips?
I wish I could actually do it.
It's not that difficult. You get to a point, you just practice for a little bit, and you'll eventually figure it out. I love doing it because I also like to sit and people watch whenever I'm out places, and I sit there and I like watch people in reflections on glass, and I'll just sit there and not try to eavesdrop on them, but I'll just watch them and try to figure out. Okay, I kind of eavesdrop by lip reading, but still, the point is, it's just fun.
Okay, so I totally forgot I was muted. Yes, I did just send you a message, but before we get to that, you guys in the sheriff's office, it is, by the way, just for the sake of time here, we'll say it's getting later in the evening. Like the sun has set at this point. You guys are still you're in the office rifling through the sheriff's papers. He has a lot of them.
I wouldn't say it was rifling. Go ahead.
A little bit, and the you hear kind of commotion coming from the front office, like the front area down the hall.
Get up and go and see what's going on.
Yep.
All right. As you make your way towards the front office, you see the clerk is there. He's like the only one that's really left in the building, and he is kind of like, there is a small woman, an older halfling woman who you've actually seen before, out of breath and kind of like leaning against the counter and saying, "You have to help her. The note. And then she kind of turns to see you. She says, "Oh, I knew it. I thought you were here. Please, you have to help." And she kind of runs over and is holding a piece of paper out towards you.
So I will take that piece of paper and I will glance over at Lycon and see, this is how it's supposed to work. They come to the police when something is wrong. You don't go to a tavern. And I will open the note. What is going on?
She says, Miss Amiko, she's not at the tavern. I don't know where she is. And then I went up to her room, and I found this. And I will show you this. Let me edit this and put this in Balin's journal. Balin, there you go.
Okay. Oh, of course I can. Oh, I can magnify it.
Yes.
Nice. Hello, Sice. I hope this letter finds you well. Who wrote that? Terrible penmanship. And with some free time on your hands, because we've got something of a problem. It's to do with father. Oh, I'm rapidly losing interest all of a sudden. Seems that he might have something to do with Sandy Point's recent trouble with the... You had better read this. And I hand it over to Lycon, because otherwise I'm going to tear it in half.
I forgot I muted myself. Lycon, you can read the letter. You also might want to read it out loud so the people on stream can check
Can
it out.
hear it, yeah.
Let's see. With the troubles with the goblins, and I didn't want to bring the matter to the authorities because we both know he just weaseled his way out of it. You've got some pull here in town, though. If you can meet me at the Glassworks at midnight tonight, maybe we can figure out how to make sure he faces the punishment he deserves. Knock twice, and then 3 times more, and then once more at the delivery entrance, and I'll let you in. In any case, I don't have to impress upon you the delicate nature of this request. If news got out, you know, these local rubes would assume that you and I were in on the whole thing too, don't you? They've got no honor at all around these parts. I still don't understand how you can stand to stay here. Anyway, don't tell anyone about this. There are other complications as well, ones I'd rather talk to you about in person tonight. Don't be late. Suto?
Pseudo.
So I guess we're going back to the Glassworks.
Does seem that way, doesn't it?
It does.
The
What time is it?
it's pretty late. You haven't really been keeping track of it, but it's pretty late at night.
You say you found this in her room.
Yes. I think she may have left a while ago.
Adam, what are you eating?
Sorry.
It's okay, I'm just curious.
Sounds
Sounds like a Jolly
sounds like
Rancher or
carrots.
something. Yeah. See, you got Jolly Ranchers, Pop Rocks, and carrots. At least one of us is thinking healthy. All right.
She says, I did look at it myself. But if it's true, if it's really from him, it can't be anything good.
Why? Is her brother as bad as her father?
Suto, he's sort of a black sheep of the family. He was born out of wedlock to an elven woman, and when he was very young, Lunjiku just sent him off to an academy to be taken care of, and basically disowned him. He's been out of the picture ever since, but I know Ameko tried to establish contact with him, but her father did not like that.
Father doesn't like anything. All right, we'll look into it. Do you know what time it is right now?
She says, it's about 1, maybe 1:30.
Oh dear. All right. Return to your home and best not speak to anyone of this. No, never mind the if. Just don't speak to anyone. Thank you very much for bringing this to us.
All right. So you guys grab your stuff and are leaving the barracks. All right. And so as Balin and Lycon kind of rush out of the barracks, Xantor, it has been it's been about, you know, you got the message right. So you saw things kind of happening at the Glassworks. What did you want to do?
Without being muted,
Yeah,
by the way.
that would help.
I would have moved in for a closer watch and listen.
Okay. The female figure that you caught apparently must have gone into the door before you got around to see. But once you got in, the doors around the back, it looks like the freight doors were closed. And so The only real way that you could see inside was kind of scurrying in the window, and it's. I mean, the windows are kind of yeah. You can scurry.
Hold on,
What's up?
hold on. I'm a spider. I would have squeezed through the cracks.
Okay. Inside, it is pretty dark, and it's kind of gonna take you a little while to find your way, because you're a tiny spider.
Then I'll climb up the walls.
Yeah. No,
Right
you can kind of search around. The one thing you noted that you kind of as you're making your way through this building, is that you can hear the blaring noise of the furnace. You don't hear any, like, the furnace is still, as far as you can tell, the furnace is still blaring. You don't hear any voices, but as you get closer and closer to the center of the building, you can just make out sort of what sounds like the distant shattering of glass. And so as that's going on, Balin and Lycon, you guys are rushing up to the building. Where did you want to go?
Well, I figure we'll check the loading doors first to see if they're unlocked.
Yeah, those would be the closest ones. So. Yeah.
Okay. Give me 2 seconds, because I forgot I may not have set this up, and I need to check that I did. So we will get. Let me put on some spooky music while that's happening.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Spooky Halloween.
Come on.
Or something like that, maybe. I always wanted to, like, the maze from The Shining. I love that's why, like, you go back to RPGs like Phantasy Star, the original one on the Sega Master System. Awesome game, and the only one I really like, because all the dungeons were first person, so you were walking through them like you were in them, and all the Phantasy Star 2 and on, you were looking down on them, so you could kind of get up against the wall and you could see that there was a dead end around the corner. I hated that. It made the mazes too easy. I love first person mazes. Those are so much more fun.
Did you play Grimrock and Grimrock 2?
I did. I have it on my desktop.
Yeah, those are pretty good. They're really good. My only wish is I wish I could find a reason to play them again, because
Well, the Legend of Grimrock is a pretty faithful update to it, and I liked the ability to use the different spell syllables to try to construct a spell. I actually figured one out by mistake at one point when I got trapped, and I figured out how to make a wall invisible. And when I did, a gigantic rat went by on the other side. I was because I thought I'd made a hole in the wall, and I was convinced it was going to come through and kill me, but it didn't.
All right. I had totally not, I had archived this map and not actually set it up, so I'm just doing that real quick. So
that's why I was.
Yeah, I will move you guys over in just a second. Let me just set up the lighting here real quick. By the way, I wanted to take a second and thank Prong Sedan for hitting that follow button before. Welcome, man. Welcome to the madness. And thank you everyone who's hanging out with us. I hope you guys are enjoying the show.
Welcome.
Let's just do this. Make that a little bigger. Copy that. Alright. Paste.
What should I have for dinner tonight? I just had a couple of what? Well, I just had a couple of hot dogs, which are kind of like tacos. They're like,
They're American tacos.
Yeah, kind of, basically.
Oh,
now, is a hot dog a sandwich? Technically.
All right.
I would
let me
consider it.
grab your tokens real quick. Just grab.
Yes,
these.
because
Then
it's
again, I don't
rat.
like hot dogs, so I don't consider them anything
Mm.
other than gross.
Made with chicken's lips and pig's eyes.
Yeah, my great uncle decided to show me and my cousin when we were younger
Ooh.
what they were made of in his little pig slaughtering area, and it was
I gotta.
so I don't eat hot dogs anymore.
All right. Let me just grab something here.
Yeah, when I was in high school, back in the dim times before technology, We went to a slaughterhouse for health class, and several of my friends became vegetarians that day. I just could not stop giggling. I was just laughing my ass off the whole time.
I gotta get a mouse that doesn't double click every fucking time.
And we're using the Patreon, even though he says we're not. No, we're not using the Patreon to get your mouse.
Don't do that. That's dumb.
Okay, it's not dumb. It's just wrong.
It's wrong. And
But
dumb.
if you have an extra mouse you're not using,
Yeah, mail me that.
contact him.
Just
Yeah.
mail me that shit. It will make everything about this game better. Okay, so you guys, let me just check that you guys have sight. No, that's not. Alright, so this has to go to the map layer. There we go. Alright, so you guys are coming to the back door. Here you are. And it is, Lycon and Balin. Let me put on some music here. You guys are rushing to the back door. Xantor, you are somewhere inside. So we're gonna put you on the GM layer for now.
That means you have unlimited cosmic power.
I'll keep you on there so you can see things.
Itty bitty living space.
You can't set the lighting up for different characters, can you? It's all the same lighting effects.
What do you mean?
Oh, dwarf. I got dark vision.
Oh yeah. Give me a second. I'll set that up in 1 second right now.
Both you and I have dark vision. It's just trending. It's just Balin.
Yep, I'm the one who's in trouble.
Don't worry, I'm a
Quick,
druid.
Balin, take 2 steps to the left.
I'll make sure I pick up that spell if we spend more time in warehouses.
60.
I'll help you out, friend.
It's still in warehouses. It's not even dark vision. It's warehouse vision. It only works in warehouses.
Can't use it yet, but it's pitch black here. I know.
Nice. I'm impressed they actually had it so you could tweak it like that.
Okay. And Kismet is not here. So, you two are sort of rushing up to the building. You're coming from the north, so you're sort of over here. What do you want to do? And why was music stopped?
Well, I would like to find the loading bay doors where What's-Her-Face was supposed to knock and meet her brother to see if the doors are still unlocked or if they locked them. But I don't actually know where the doors are, so I wouldn't know what direction to go in.
Alright, so you wanna find the loading bay doors? Those
Yeah.
were right over here. So they're these 2 doors right over here.
Yeah, they're right.
Okay. Yeah, I want to try to open those.
Alright, let's put some music on here. What's a good one? I like that.
Since he was just at the sheriff's office, could we say he picked up some kind of thieves' kit to solve that problem?
Yeah,
They're probably worse on there.
It's in
Yeah,
his gear, like in his class gear. I don't know why he wouldn't have one.
Yay!
Ooh.
All right, cool. So let's. So you guys are up at the door, and I seriously, none of my music is playing right now, and I don't know why. I'm like, that.
Is it playing and you just turned it down too low?
No, it's
When
like
you were
I had this setting on, and I was just getting blank space, and I'm like, this sounds like ass. Okay. So, yeah, you want to try and unlock the door? Go ahead and hit me with a disable device.
I would love to if I had that anywhere.
Well, you didn't say that you were going to try to disable it. You said you were just going to try.
Yeah, I was going to see if it was
machine.
locked first.
Oh, yes,
okay.
it is locked, yeah.
Okay, then what? There is no disabled device in
No,
D&D
there wouldn't
anymore.
be.
Oh,
You would just make an attack against the door.
That is not true at all.
That's if I try to break it down.
No?
Though. That's not if I try to lockpick it.
Oh, sorry. I thought that's what you were talking about. Was trying to break it down.
I'm
How's
sorry.
your
It's I believe it's sleight of hand in this
Yes.
in this edition.
Sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Okay. Shit-tastic.
I mean, you're kind of fiddling with it. Like, there's actually, it's not really a complex lock. It actually seems more like of just kind of like a sliding bolt that, once you get your kind of tool in there, you can actually kind of pull back a little bit, enough to kind of like wiggle it out of its little kind of like
latch
loop, and then with a little bit of work, you can kind of pull it, and you hear it clicking open.
Okay, so can we go in then?
Yeah, you can push the doors open. You want to push both of them open, or just one?
Just one to get inside, unless they both have to be swung open.
Yeah.
Stop.
So you kind of step inside this building. You give me 1 second. We gotta fill in some doors that should have been closed.
Here we go. I mean, I figured Balin would open the other door anyway, so it's not really concerned about which door got opened as long as they're both unlocked.
I'm just checking to make sure all my doors are closed. Here, close enough.
I would have gone in the same door you went in. No reason to open both.
Okay, well then I'll go in and then step to the side so I'm not, blocking him from getting inside.
Okay. So you can kind of, as you step in, you find yourself standing in a familiar place. You're standing in the building's loading dock. However, as Balin, your eyes are kind of adjusting to the darkness. Sorry, I used to put it loud. Your eyes are adjusting to the darkness, but Lycon, you can see sort of, again, there's sort of like wheelbarrows sitting against the walls here, and sort of this shelves, the familiar shelves lined with stuff.
Okay.
However, as you see across the room, that sort of large iron safe that you remembered, the door is now hanging open.
Oh, okay, that's what that is.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm guessing all the little pink notches are doors?
Yes.
Okay.
So just for clarification, because you were already here, this is the door that you came in the first time to get in here, right? That's the door you came through to get in here. That was you remember, this door right here was the one that led to the furnace room.
Okay. And we don't know what these other two doors are.
You didn't check those other two doors, but you can sort of hear that deep rumble of the furnace.
I have a question.
Yes.
Shouldn't I be in here in another room? Because this is where I was spying. I wasn't spying outside.
Yeah. No, I didn't put you in the building because I couldn't. I didn't actually figure a decent place to put you in. But we'll. As you're actually, can you roll me a perception check using your spider senses?
Okay.
Are they tingling?
Yes. I should get that checked out in the morning. Might have to get a cream. Yay, 15. Wait, no. What is spider? Hold on.
While he's doing his spider check, can I go over here? Can I see the safe from where I'm at, or are those barrels in my way?
No, you can see it from where you are.
All right, I'm gonna go look inside. I'm assuming it's empty.
Yeah, so you kind of make your way up to the safe as you kind of lean down in. The inside, whatever was in here, seems to have been taken.
How was the door removed?
The door wasn't actually removed. The door is just hanging open.
Oh, okay. Does it look like it was forced open, or does it look like somebody opened it?
Roll
Like
perception check.
They had a key, or...
What does passive perception mean?
Means a 10. Well, yeah, a passive is 10
Good
plus
God.
your perception bonus, which just
If the
is.
I don't even notice the door's open.
If the passive perception is 12, how does that work?
So passive perception is not something you choose to use. Hence the word passive. It's something that I use if like I'm seeing if you notice something, like passively. So like if you're just walking along, I might use your passive perception to see if you notice something off in the distance.
Right.
You know, that you're not actively paying attention to.
It's just kind of an ambient awareness as opposed to actively looking for something.
So, Lycon, it doesn't look like the. I mean, It doesn't look like the safe was forced in any way, but I mean, to the best of your knowledge, the door's just open. You don't see any obvious marks or anything like that.
Okay. Then I will inform Balin of such that the safe has been emptied, but it looks like someone opened it. Was it a combination or is it a key?
Looks like a key.
What kind of lock?
I was going to say combination lock would be a little bit advanced, I think.
Yeah, magic. We got a dude who can turn himself into spiders and shit.
Well, that's
Be a
easy.
magic combination lock. Yeah, I'm just gonna let him know that the safe's empty, and it looks like whoever opened it had the key they needed to open it.
Okay.
What's the light level in here?
Yeah. Let me delete this, by the way. I only did this. I put the map on. Let me just. I put the night thing on because it was night outside, but I don't actually need it anymore. There is like a lantern that's kind of hanging on the ceiling, but that's sort of dimly lighting the room.
Okay.
But it's dark outside and it's dark in here.
But it's not black. I can see a little bit.
You can see
Okay.
it kind of. So we're gonna move as you guys are kind of moving through the room. Again, you can both of you roll me perception checks.
You'll go better perception this time.
Balin,
Jeez.
you kind of, as he's down on the ground, kind of inspecting this
Critical fail.
safe. You hear, like, you're kind of walking along the wall, just kind of going to a door, and in the distance you hear a distant sound of glass being smashed that kind of catches your attention. And as that snaps you to attention, we're gonna move over to Xantor. So you are crawling along the walls. You've heard this noise. You've kind of, seen all this. And as you're, I'm gonna actually put you here. Let me copy you and move you. You just kind of crested inside. You're headed towards the furnace room because that seems to be where all the noise is. But as you're kind of crawling through the hallways, you can see trails of what look like smashed glass along the empty hallways that are kind of lit up by lantern light. And just as you're kind of cresting over, like, through one of the windows into the furnace room, you see
Oh, it's a nice little art project.
yeah, as you kind of see all of this whole scene splayed out in front of you, and I mean, you can react in whatever way you want, but unfortunately you're just kind of watching these things frolic and smash and play beneath you. Yeah, and I'm assuming kind of wishing your friends were here.
Do I see the foreman anywhere amongst those piles?
Roll me a perception check. You can't make anything distinct out. There's too much movement, too much blood, too much kind of smashed glass and stuff all over the place. So as you're doing that, Balin, did you want to move towards that sound?
Well, I'm going to kind of, look towards, like, kind of point towards the door.
All right, I'm gonna nod. I'm gonna walk towards the door. I'm not gonna open it, but I'm gonna put my ear up to it and listen.
All right. You hear the faint sound of kind of high-pitched tittering voices and a deep bellowing rumble of a furnace and lots of sounds of smashing glass.
I'm gonna turn back to him and signal for him to come over.
Right before I do that, I'm going to very gently try and see that this door is locked.
It is.
Okay. We'll deal with that later, even though I hate not clearing rooms as I'm passing them.
All right. So you want to go up to the door?
Yep, just did.
All right. And what do you want to do?
I'm gonna look at Lycon and be like, ready.
All right. As you both kind of put your...
I just nod. I'm not going to say anything.
Oh, okay. All right. I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
As you both press your shoulders up against these doors and kind of, you know, get ready, you throw them open. And you see sort of this grisly scene splayed out before you. There's like one of the large marble tables. There's a small kind of goblin form illuminated by the furnace light, holding a vase over his head. As you see him smash it down into the ground, you see splatters of blood across the floor, piles of broken glass, and the shrieks of multiple goblins echoing through this room, almost being drowned out by the kind of bellowing, the deep rumbling furnace that continues to glow. And as the goblins kind of continue with their, their festivities of destruction and bloodshed, and you guys kind of catch a glimpse of them on your side of the room, Xantor catching a glimpse from the ceiling at the other side of the room, and the goblins also sort of, at least the ones over by you guys at the top, spinning around and, wow, that's really loud, spinning around and kind of looking directly at you, glass in hand, and going, Rah! That is where we're going to end it for tonight.
Oh, we have to fight something. Please. We've got 15 minutes. Let's just fight something.
I don't want to get into a fight. It'll run too. I hate stopping in the middle of a fight. It's such a weird thing. So you guys, unfortunately, you were kind of privy to this violent scene in front of you, and what exactly it all means, and what you're gonna do about it. We're gonna have to find out next week. But yeah, so that is going to be our session. A big thank you to all of my players, and especially to all of the friends and awesome viewers who have come hang out with us. Thank you guys for spending an evening with us. Before we kind of wrap things up here, why don't we just go through and why don't we go through and have everyone in our awesome cast do tell everyone a little bit about who you are, where what kind of things you get up to on the internet, and where they can find more about you.
Maybe not that first part.
The safe things.
Oh, okay. All right, that I can do. Where are we starting?
We'll
over there?
start with you, because you're right next to me.
Oh, of course. Now we're going to reverse that and change things up and be weird and freaky and sometimes start in the middle and work our way back and forth from outside. Anyway, as said before, for those of you who weren't here when I did thing, Trendane Sparks, I'm a freelance voice actor, and I do voice acting. Big freaking surprise there. You can find me on Twitter at Trendane or on Facebook at trend.sparks. And I guess the best thing to see my work right now is to go to YouTube to the Bulkheads Machinima for Star Citizen, and I do a lot of voices in that, and those are the thing. Yeah, okay, good, kind of cool. Adam,
You're muted, sir.
As always.
So I am the master of the mute unmute. I'm Adam. I play Xantor, the wily, courageous druid. I'm gonna come up with new acronyms every week. I also am one half of a Twitch stream called Totally Tweaked, where we talk about games and we drink. We kind of held off on rebooting the show until Legion came out because we wanted to go hardcore with that, and then unfortunately Hurricane Hermione hit and took one half of our show start away. So hopefully next week Chris and I will talk about formatting, and we'll start streaming our show once more. When we originally did it, I would stream for a couple hours and then forget the stream was on. So there's tons of 16 to 32 hour long streams of blackness and maybe TV on in the background or my dog barking. It was great. It's pretty quality stuff if you're into like people watching.
People,
And then are people listening. And then also I'm writing a
Sorry, I had to do that since she's not here.
writing a book with Ashley, which is taking a good amount of time, but it'll get done eventually. Chris, go ahead.
and I'm Chris, and I'm playing the dwarf rogue Lycon. Like Adam said, we do a kind of casual stream at the moment that we're hoping to do more on. And that's it for tonight.
All right. The links to all of their content is, of course, in chat. So go ahead and check all those guys out. Give them a follow. Enjoy all of that great content during the week while they're not here playing D&D. And as always, my name is Askren. I'm the host and the Dungeon Master here. You can find me hanging out on this channel all the time, because that's what I do. Just some real quick announcements before we get out of here. As always, there is I have a great show. It's called Fuzzy Dice. It's a talk show, and it's every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, where I hang out with awesome D&D streamers, podcasters, game designers, all kinds of stuff. This week, I'm going to be hanging out with Mr. Steve Lumpkin, a former GM for the Roleplay channel. He's now off doing his own D&D stuff, and he's a great guy, and he'll be hanging out and talking, D&D and DMing with me. I can't wait to hang out with him. And then coming up later in the month, we've got all kinds of stuff. If you're into game design, you definitely want to see me talking to the writers and designers from both Paizo and Wizards of the Coast. That's going to be the next 2 weeks after that. And we also have a giveaway right now. If you haven't entered it, the link is in chat. It's the 1K one-shot giveaway. The thing has been running for like a couple weeks now, so this is going to be the last day to get in on it before we announce the winners on Tuesday. You just hit that link, you throw some entries in, and you get a chance to win a seat playing a one-shot that's going to be DM'd by me on this channel with 4 other awesome people who have also won a contest. It's going to be great. I'm hugely looking forward to it, and I want to thank everyone for all your support in making that happen and helping this channel grow and all that stuff. Thank you to all of our followers tonight. Thank you to everyone who's out there sharing it with their friends. And as always, don't let Dice Thulu get his tentacles on you, because you may light a bar on fire, or light a glassworks on fire, or light a sheriff's office on fire.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, you just might light a lot of things on fire. That's a possibility. As always, we will thank you guys for hanging out. We'll see you around next time. I will see you on Tuesday. Take care, everyone.
Hey, it looks like the stream went down at the last minute there. It's back up now. Never mind.
Well, now it's going down because now I'm pressing the stop button. Bye, everyone.